we are going to be working it out. Like first one on the name of customer master, second one material master, third one vendor master, followed by GL accounts, which we try to call it as general ledger accounts over here. Then we try to work out with BOM concept over here, bill of materials. So in case if you want to sell the products in combo packages, then we try to work out with this BOM concept. Then we have a CMIR, which stands for customer material info record over here. There's going to be another master data, CMIR. Like this, we have a lot of master data, but these are going to be the standard things which we are going to be working it out over here. Standard master data. And these master data plays a big role. And all this master data maintenance is going to be done by our end users. They are going to be responsible for creation of it, not the consultant. So whatever prerequisite is required to create a master data, so all that prerequisites we are going to be maintaining it, but end user is the one who will be maintaining all that information. Okay, so I'm just trying to focus on how to work out with these things. So starting with customer master creation, that's going to be the first master data. Customer master. Now how to create a customer record in SAP application, like what all information we need to maintain it. So what all configurations need to be done, because as a consultant, so there are going to be some prerequisites which need to be maintained. So we need to work with some of the configuration over here, some prerequisites. So here we can't. Now we are not going to be creating customer directly. As I mentioned, there are going to be some prerequisites maintained. So all that prerequisites, we are going to be learning it. So then only we can go for creating of our customer record over here. So what all going to be the prerequisites, how to maintain it is what we are going to be learning it. Now when we talk about these things over here, prerequisites, or you can call it as pre-requirements. Prerequisites, or you can call it as pre-requirements. Now, what are the prerequisites? We need to work it out over here. So here, the first prerequisite is going to be working with our account groups. It's going to be addressed as first prerequisite. Prerequisite, working with our account group over here. Now, when we talk about this particular account group creation, now what information this account group is going to be providing us over here. So basically, this account group is used to maintain field status. Is used to maintain field status in customer master. It is used to maintain field status in customer master. Whether a particular field need to be activated as optional entry or required entry or suppress entry or display entry, those settings are going to be maintained with the help of account groups over here. Those entries are going to be maintained with the help of account groups. Now, what you mean by this field status, how it works out step by step, we try to explore each and everything. Okay, we're going to be exploring each and everything. So as of now, just try to remember, account group is used for maintaining the field status. Which field need to be activated as an optional entry, required entry, suppress entry, those settings can be maintained with the help of this one. It can be maintained with the help of account groups. Now, here, always the code for account group is going to be of 4 letters, maximum of 4 letters. So here I'm just trying to create one of it by using one naming convention. So let's say we are trying to work out with company Samsung. So let's say I'm just trying to maintain SSOL over here. What this SSOL stands for? It stands for Samsung Sold Party. I'm going to be creating it on the name of SSOL, which stands for Samsung Sold Party. Okay. Now, how to create it? So for creating this one, we are going to be using a transaction code called as OBD2. There's a T code used. Transaction code used is going to be OBD2 over here. Okay. Now, I try to create this one. Now see, so here I'm just trying to basically work with the transaction code itself, OBD2 as our transaction code. If you click on enter, this is how the screen is going to be looking. And in this particular screen, to maintain, these are all going to be the standard account groups. So we're not working out with the standard. So I'm just trying to create a customized one. So for that, we are going to be taking the help of new entries over here. So take the help of new entries. So maintain the code over here and maintain the description as well. That's it. This is what you're going to be doing it. You're not going to be maintaining any other values over here. Just maintain the code and the description. That's it. Please remember, you're not going to be maintaining any other information. Why? Step by step, when we try to export it, it is going to be more clear for us. So at the moment, maintain this information, click on enter and try to save it. And try to save it over here. So I'm just trying to create a new request because there's one of the master datas, customer master, and I'm trying to save this one. So that's going to be the first step where we have gone for creating an account group over here. We have gone for creating an account group. There's the first step. Now, second step over here. Now, what is the second step? We need to basically work with our number ranges. Because for each and every customer, there is going to be a unique number which need to be assigned. So for that, we need to go for creating an number ranges over here. Now, how to create this number ranges? How to create this particular number ranges, because SAP is going to be supporting two types of number ranges over here. Okay. One, we try to call it as an internal number range, and second one, we call it as an external number range. One, we call it as an internal, and second one, external. So two types of number ranges will be there over here to work out. Two types of number ranges. One, we try to call it as an internal number range. Second one, it's going to be external number range. Now, what exactly is the difference between both these number ranges over here? How to play around? How to play around? Like, we need to know the functionality of this number ranges, and we need to know how it's going to be worked out. Okay. Now, when we talk about this internal number range, so this is nothing but system will allocate a number. System will allocate the numbers from series of numbers over here. System will allocate the number from series of numbers. Okay, that means you need to create some number ranges and keep it in the system. Whenever a record is being created, system will allocate a number for that particular record. That's what you mean by internal number range. Now, for example, I've created one series. Now, let's say we are trying to maintain a series 1 to 100 over here. We're trying to maintain a series by naming it as 1 to 100. So whenever customer record is created, whenever user is trying to create a record on the name of Sam, so number will be allocated as 1. So for Peter, 2. For Jack, 3. In a sequence, these numbers are going to be getting allocated. In a sequence, these numbers are going to be getting allocated. Okay, so you need to know this one. So that is nothing but the functionality of internal number range. So system will be allocating a number from our series of numbers over here. That's how it's going to be working. Okay. Whereas when you're trying to work out with external number range, there's going to be manual allocation of numbers. Manual allocation of numbers means what? User need to allocate a number for each and every customer record created. Okay. User will be allocating number for each and every customer record created. Now, how it works out? If you try to create a number range, now let's say we are trying to create 200 to 300. I'm maintaining a series of number by maintaining 200 to 300 over here. Now, in this case, what happens? So, Harry is one customer. Now, for this Harry, what user will be doing? He will be allocating a number over here. So user can go for allocation of 225. It's not going to be in series. Whichever number user want to allocate for a customer record, he can do that. Okay. Now for Ram, it's going to be allocated as 295. Okay. So for Sandeep, so it will be allocated as 275. Whatever number user want to allocate it, he can do that when he is working with external number range. But user need to remember each and every number. What all numbers has been issued, user need to remember it. That is the disadvantage of working with external number range. User need to remember all the numbers which has been allocated. So people doesn't try to work with external. We always try to work out with internal number range. Okay. So please remember the difference, how to work with internal and how to work with external. So internal, system will allocate a number. External, it's going to be the manual allocation of numbers which need to be done over here. Okay. And this one is going to be supporting alphanumerical combination. Alphanumeric format. For example, if you want to maintain it as AB 200 to AB 300 like this, it will be supporting alphanumerical format. Whereas internal number range is going to be supporting only numeric format. It is going to be supporting only numeric format. Okay. So please understand the difference between these two. In most of the projects, we always try to work out with internal number range. We don't try to work out with the external number range. We always try to work with the internal number range. Now, I'm just trying to create these things. Like to create this number range, we are going to be working out with a transaction code called as XDN1. It's the T code used creating the number ranges. XDN1. Now, how to create it? So if you get into XDN1 transaction code, this up the screen is going to be looking. And in this particular screen, you can see we have three options. First one, we call it as a display intervals. Second one, change intervals. And third one, NR status. So whenever you want to go for creating a number range, always try to click on change intervals. Click on change intervals. This is the place where you're going to be creating it. So click on this change intervals and this up the screen is going to be looking. This up the screen is going to be looking over here. Okay, so here we have a code maintained for each and every number range we maintain. There will be a code, and code length is going to be of 2 letters, which can be alphanumerical combination or only alphabets are also accepted. And you need to define your number range from and to columns over here, from number to number. That is what we need to maintain it, from number to number range. And if any number has been used, system is going to be automatically popping up that particular number over here. So I'm just trying to create one number range. So I'm trying to insert it. So click on this particular icon to insert our number range. Insert line. So if you click on this insert line over here, so whatever code you want to maintain for the number range, you can define it. Whatever code you want to maintain it for the number range, you can define it over here. So let's say I'm trying to maintain it by the code M7. That's my code which I'm trying to maintain it, M7, and try to maintain from and to numbers over here. From number to two number. Whatever range you want to maintain it, you can maintain it over here. So I'm just trying to maintain it, like for example, like starting number is going to be, let's say, my starting number. Always the code length is going to be of 10 digit. And this is going to be my ending number, 314. So that means we can go for creation of how many customers? 100 customers over here. We can go for creation of 100 customers. Okay. And if you leave this particular checkbox as blank, that means we are trying to work out with internal number range. If you leave that particular checkbox as blank, we are trying to work out with internal number range. If you activate it, it's going to be addressed as an external number range. That's how it works out. So how to know which number range is acting as internal or external? Internal or external. If this checkbox is active, external. Blank, internal. Okay. So maintain our code. Click on enter. It has been inserted, and make sure you try to click on save. Click on save, and number range is going to be created up over here. Number range has been created up over here. Okay, this is how you try to go for defining of it. This is how you go for creation of it. And it has been successfully inserted by a code called as M7, where we maintain starting number as 214 and ending number as 314 over here. So here I'm just trying to maintain that one. So we have defined internal. Please remember, we are not working out with external number range. Now, once you have created this number range, we need to assign it. So if you want to use it, we need to assign it. We need to assign this number ranges. We need to assign number range to what? To account group. We need to assign it to our account group. So whatever account group we have created in the first step, for that we need to assign it. We are going to be assigning this particular number range over here. Okay, that's what we are trying to do it. We are trying to assign it to our account group. And this is going to be executed using a transaction code called as OBAR. It's going to be the transaction code user. So for number ranges, XDN1, for account group OBD2, and for this OBAR over here. Now how to maintain it and work it out.